Hi, I'm back. Right, so I just took a short break to take some deliveries, and I'm just going to have a look at the next one. So this next one here, I've got an out of office reply on my first email, phone call unavailable, then no answer. Then I spoke to somebody and I found out that there are about 6 account managers, some based in the office, some do both. They said that right, so I was told to speak to the GM and that this person would also pass on the message. So let's see. You never know when somebody is free to talk. Might be in the middle of a sandwich right now, but never mind.
Hello, Nick Chef. Monique speaking.
Hello, can I speak to Cassandra?
Oh, she's actually out on an event at the moment. Is there anything I can help with, or I can let her know you called?
You might be able to help. I'm calling. I spoke to, I think it was,
Okay.
and then I was told to speak to, I run a sales training company.
Okay.
And what I wanted to establish is whether that's something that we could talk to you guys about.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah, Cass will be the person you speak with. Can I get your name and your contact number, and I can get her to give you a call back when she's in the office?
Yeah. Is she likely to?
Pardon?
Is she likely to call back?
Yeah, sure. No, I'll send her an email and let her know you called. If Adam referred her, she'll definitely give you a call back.
Okay.
What's your name?
Perfect. So it's Shea, SHEA,
Yeah.
and I'm calling from Wise Me Up, as in Wise Owl.
Yeah?
Me Up.
And what's the best contact number to reach you on?
She can call me on 079. Is this event a week-long event, or is she likely to be back in at some point this week?
No, I think she should be in the office tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit later today, but I'm not sure about that. What I'll do is I'll let her know that you called. I'll say your contact number, and she'll give you a call back when she's in the office.
Okay, that's great. Do you know if you use sales training at all before?
I'm not really sure. I couldn't confirm that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Well, look, if you could pass that message on, that'd be fantastic. In the meantime, what I'll do is schedule a call back.
Yeah?
See if I can get hold of her as well. Is it okay to email? I have an email address.
Yeah, if you have an email address, definitely email her and let her know you called. I'm sure she'll get in contact with time that she's on the phone.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So, who am I speaking to? Lovely. Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Take care now. Bye. So, what you do then is you just build up like a list of tasks for every single day, and when you come in every day, there'll come a point where when you're coming in every single day, you'll have lots of follow-up calls versus lots of fresh calls to make. It just makes your life a little bit easier. And then when you look at your spreadsheet, it just makes it so much easier for you to be able to put a status against each account so you know where it is at. I mean, in this case, I've got one now, that one for me, where I have found out some information. I'm still not 100% sure as to where they are in terms of using externals. So I would say that that's a part qualified prospect for me, not a fully. I need to have another conversation. I am going to chase up, and what I'll do is I'll chase up by phone, but I'll also probably send an email, which I am going to just quickly send through now as I'm hot on it. No time like the present, as they say. I mean, seriously, you can see I'm having fun because I haven't got pressure on me. Probably worth just checking what I sent before, having said that, to this person. It makes, what it does is it by doing this kind of research and a little bit of work in between, it does really make the day, break down the day and break down the task of cold calling. It just means that you're not hammering the phone all the time, because the problem with hammering the phone constantly is that you will find that you'll probably get tired, and you'll find that you're saying the same thing to all the people all the time, and it does literally just become a numbers game then, and we don't really want it to be just a numbers game, especially if you're working in this kind of format for yourself. It's got to be tailored, it's got to be a little bit more aligned to who you're speaking to. Just a quick check. Always check it through, because I always find some kind of spelling. I've just corrected 2 spelling mistakes. Whilst some people's emails, our Outlook can be set up not to send with a mistake, it's just always worth just having a visual check yourself, just in case something is spelled wrong. You don't really want to come across professional. Short is okay, professional, unprofessional not. So, I have an automatic reply, that's fine, that just confirms that she's not in the office. Right, so I now have a direct number for this person, which is fantastic, so I can put that straight into my details, future reference. Now, I put all this down, and I know it probably seems like a lot of extra work, but the thing is, if there's an opportunity there, it would be good. It would look so professional if you were able to say, oh yes, I understand that so-and-so is head of operations, and because you've taken notice of the communication that's come through. Okay, so that's that one. Now here's an interesting one. This one is the beast that is Mercedes. Let's have a look how we can get hold of somebody in Mercedes-Benz. What have you got to lose? A company like this? Absolutely nothing. What have you got to gain? Probably everything. So I'm just going to have a quick check to see who I should be speaking to.
Good afternoon, Mercedes-Benz. How can I help?
Hello. Right, I am trying to speak to the people that would organise sales training for Mercedes, because we are providers of sales training.
Are you looking to introduce your services to Mercedes-Benz, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, won't be a moment. You have reached the Mercedes-Benz prospective supplier inquiry line. We are presently working closely with our preferred suppliers and do not anticipate any immediate changes. If, however, you have new products or services that you think may be of interest, please feel free to send in your literature and address it to.
A very different response to what I'm used to, but that's fine, because I've got some ideas of how I'm going to send out some literature to some people. What you've got to remember is there's not one size doesn't fit all. In the end of the day, you have got to be open to the fact that you might have to write into some people, like the old-fashioned. I mean, those of you who were born into YZ generations and don't know anything other than the digital age, then you might have to invest in one of these and maybe some paper, and think of an innovative way of reaching out to customers who like to be reached out through written communication, email, whatever it might be. But I've got some ideas, and I actually think that going back to the old pen is probably quite refreshing. So I have some ideas of how I want to approach some companies, and when that initiative is off the ground, I will come back and share it with you in terms of how successful it's been, and if it's been successful, and what I would do if it hasn't. So in this case, what I'm going to do is just put here, it is still at this stage a prospect. All I know is that they have incumbents, but they're open to having a look at if there's anything else. Right, let's move on very quickly to the next one. So